Monday morning. It's McCollum on Business. I'm Stephen McCollum, and for the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to get you updated about what's happening around the business world after the weekend, and what an adventurous weekend it was for the business world starting this Monday morning as well. We'll get the market watch, stocks we're paying attention to, as well as local national stories that you need to know. And let's get it started with that market watch. Well, Mondays, if you don't know, we'll talk about it. The Canadian tariff situation all kind of went downhill on Friday and over the weekend. So that is not happening. Oil prices with some threats going back and forth in the Middle East. Well, oil prices have kind of settled down today. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit as well. Treasury yields are declining today, which is what the Fed's been, the Treasury Secretary's been trying to do since last week as well. All that being said, Dow Jones right now, 163 points up, 53,416 right now. The S&P 500's down 22 points to 7648. Nasdaq's down 243 points today. Chip stocks, memory stocks, all not doing well. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a minute for the S&P and the Nasdaq. 242 points down Nasdaq, 25,938. Russell 2K down 13 points to 3,004 right now. Now, Bitcoin is technically up today, 910 points. Well, the difference is it's trading at 78,644. Now, that did kind of settle down on Friday and over the weekend, but still up there, right? Gosh, 13,000 is what, last Wednesday, Thursday timeframe, where it was trading at 65,000 at that time as well. So Bitcoin, we'll look at some Bitcoin stocks coming up today as well. Stocks we're paying attention to right now, well, we're going to look at those cryptocurrency stocks. Robinhood being the first one. Now, they're down 2.46% today. Well, they were up over 18% over that three-day crypto rally at the end of last week. Well, it's down 2.52% today as well. Coinbase, well, 27% up over those last 3 days. Well, it's down 0.25% right now as well. Now, those just simply rallied because Bitcoin rallied as well in that three-day rally they had last week. Bitcoin was up 22% when it kind of stalled here at the 78,000 range over the weekend as well. And so those two stocks down today after that big thing. Not a shocker. You expect after a kind of a three-day rally for a little bit of a sell-off to happen. If they see where Bitcoin goes, and it's all around that legislation around Bitcoin is kind of what started that rally last week. Then you got Jersey Mike's and Subs. Let's go with them here as the next stock we're going to look at. You know them, sandwich shop is what we'll call them. Well, it's basically even here today. It was just positive 0.10. Now it's 0.04% down. Yeah. Well, a slew of Wall Street firms came out. They all initiated their coverage of Jersey Mike's and Subs stock. They all, by the way, buy rating as well for them. The analysts for these companies said that the company was undervalued and had strong potential for upside ahead. So that is kind of what's happening with Jersey Mike's and Subs, although it's fairly even right now based off of the buy rating from several Wall Street firms out there. Later on when we come back, I told you, chip makers, memory stocks, I'll kind of take it in the shorts early today. When we come back later in the show, we'll look at those stocks and kind of see where they've fallen here as the day has gone on and check a look at those memory stocks out there. But first, we'll get you updated on the things that affect the business world out there. And President Trump lashed out at Canada. Yeah, this is all happening on Sunday. It was his first public comment since the trade negotiations between the U.S. and Canada all fell apart. Yeah. Now, President Trump accuses Ottawa of wanting the benefits of being a state without being one, is what he put out on social media. Now, those comments come after the Canadian Prime Minister, Mark Carney, he suspended negotiations with the U.S. and then even ordered Canada's trade team back to Ottawa. So no more negotiations as Trump's 50% tariffs on about that $20 billion worth of Canadian impacts, well, it took effect early Saturday morning. For its part, well, Canada swears they're going to retaliate against the United States with tariffs going up there. Keep in mind, majority of Canadian exports come to the United States. Carney did say on Friday that Ottawa plans to match the UF tariffs dollar for dollar, and then he said their levies up there are going to target multiple sectors, including steel, dairy, appliances, agricultural equipment, even pulp and paper, along with electronics. The duties are set to take effect the Tuesday after Labor Day, September 8th, at least the Canadian tariffs, right? The United States ones are already in effect. So Canada, we have a couple more weeks here before those will go into effect as well. Now, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister there of Canada, he came out on Saturday and accused Washington of making a last-minute power play. He said the U.S. sought to restrict Canada's ability to negotiate trade agreements with any other countries out there. And according to Carney, trade talks broke down after the U.S. introduced new demands involving Canada's other trading relationships, specifically around its auto sector. And then Carney said they try to take away protections for Canadian culture and the French language. The Trump administration obviously did not like that. They disputed Carney's version, and they argued that Canada walked away from terms the two countries had already agreed to. They tried to negotiate it. Oh, aren't negotiations fun out there, folks? But what we know right now, U.S. tariffs are in effect on Canada. Canada swearing they're going to retaliate coming up on September 8th. Let's see who blinks first. And it's probably going to be Canada coming up here as well. But we'll see what happens around that world. But look, tariffs are still all over the news. And, oil prices, right? They're down here today. Strong gains last week in the oil market. We tried to kept an eye on them last week out there. They were at 85. They were at 90 at one point at the end of the week. Right, so not only are the stock markets kind of down today and faltering, investors are awaiting details of the U.S. plan to impose massive economic pressure on Iran. And they're going to do that to try to end this Middle East war with them. U.S. eyes are on Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, as it was last week as well. He's to hold a press conference coming up today to outline new actions against Tehran. And the war drags on, and there's absolutely zero sign of this war ending in a deal to open that Strait of Hormuz to what it was before. So now both main crude contracts, they're about 2% lower here today so far as we went to airtime. The Brent benchmark, though, the problem with that is it's still trading above $92 a barrel, and it was up more than 7% last week as well. Obviously causing oil prices, which means gas prices at the pump up, everything else, inflationary pressure on the market. That's where we stand today going into it. And gosh, last Wednesday it was Wednesday or Thursday, oil was at $85 a barrel and ticking up, no doubt about it. But it's at $92 today here this morning as well. So how is the Trump administration trying to ease these gas prices out there? Well, the Trump administration, they've signed the order. Summertime smog restrictions on gasoline. Well, those demands and those restrictions, well, they're ending early this year. They're all trying to, of course, give relief to high prices at the pump. So the EPA, they issued a waiver on last Thursday, allowing the sales of gasoline with a higher evaporation potential starting on September 1st. Yeah, usually happens middle of September is where those restrictions kind of go away. Now, as you know, in the summer, it's banned, this type of gasoline. Well, the regular winter gasoline, I should say, is banned to prevent evaporation and smog formation, all because of the heat that the country experiences. So, now you'll go from that and September 1st, just 15 days early, but it is more expensive to produce gas in the summertime. And that's kind of what drives up our summertime gases. Of course, this comes because the average U.S. gasoline price, about $4.10 per gallon last week, according to AAA. So will we get relief? It doesn't go into effect until September 1st. So we're still, a week or so? And then how fast can that supposed cheaper gas flow into the marketplace? It's kind of the questions you've got to look out there as well. So that's the stories in the government affecting the business world. And let's go to private companies out there in Walmart, folks. This was a big story on Friday when it started hitting phones. I was out at a high school football game. and everybody was talking about this story here. Yeah, Walmart. You're going to soon be able to use Apple Pay and other tap-to-pay methods out there. Yeah, Walmart announced this on Friday. So beginning August 24th, which is today, customers at select Walmart stores will be able to choose a tap-to-pay option at checkout. So now, Apple Pay, Google Pay, any of those digital payment technologies. Walmart does intend to roll out Tap to Pay at all Walmart and Sam's Club locations by the end of this year, but the service will be available at retailers' gas stations by mid 2027. Now, it's a big technological upgrade for Walmart to get this done, and Walmart held off on accepting these very commonly used payment options because they wanted to encourage customers to use this Walmart Pay system, the one that required QR codes and things to that effect. The other reason Walmart held off as well, you can't track purchases and things. At least you couldn't before. I don't know if that's changed with Apple or Google Pay. They wanted you to use their pay system because they could track you better. Walmart could. Walmart shoppers, big complaint for them that they couldn't use Apple Pay. By the way, Apple Pay, it's accepted at more than 85% of U.S. retailers at this time. And now Walmart finally getting involved in that as well moving forward. And it's just a bypass of Walmart and Apple couldn't get along. They both are such big conglomerates. They couldn't concede to each other and things to that. But the biggest issue is Walmart, if you don't know, is a data company more than they are. They have huge warehouses collecting all the shopping data history of you there at Walmart in their warehouses, in their data centers. That was the bottom line. Have they fixed that to where they can track you on the Apple Pay? That'll be an interesting question if that's happening out there as well. And we talk all the time, right? Meta's in the middle of this huge lawsuit in the United States, or in California. They lost that big lawsuit over in New Mexico earlier this year. It all around kids and safety. Well, TikTok, they've reached a $400 million settlement with the U.S. Department of Justice. So this is all the ending of the 2024 lawsuit from the Department of Justice alleging that TikTok violated federal children's privacy laws. The Justice Department came out on Friday and said TikTok will pay $300 million immediately, and then they'll pay another $100 million after an order vacates an earlier consent decree against its predecessor company, Musical.ly. That was what TikTok became. The latest lawsuit here that we're talking about focused on allegations TikTok and then ByteDance, the Chinese-based company. They violated a federal law that requires kid-oriented apps and websites to get parental consent before collecting personal information of children under 13. It also says the lawsuit does the companies failed to honor requests from parents who wanted their children's accounts deleted, and then they chose not to delete account even when the firms knew they belonged to kids under 13. $400 million settlement. And remember, that's in the process right now of being sold to Oracle and a slew, Silver Lake, and a slew of other companies for U.S. control coming up as well out there. Now, let's go to the lawsuit that I swear will never end, even though EU, London's antitrust division, the United States have all given approval for this merger to go through. California Attorney General, he scrapped talks scheduled for Monday with representatives of Paramount. Yeah, all because of that Warner Brothers Discovery bid that's out there. $110 billion merger here coming up. At least that's what it's worth as of now. Might be costing a lot more out there. So why is he canceling? Well, they were due to talk today about a potential settlement from that lawsuit from California and those 11 other states, or 12 in total, that's attempting to block the merger. And it was canceled late Sunday night by California Attorney General Rob Bonta. The New York Times reported this morning as well. And, it's late cancellation on this. Anytime you get a late cancellation like this, and I'll tell you the reasons why California says it was canceled in just a minute, but it's always a power play at this point when you cancel something this late. But a statement to the New York Times, Bonta accused Paramount of leaking information from a Friday meeting between the two sides. So even though they're talking, California and the states, and of course Paramount, well, They're not even close to being together on this deal. They're very, very far apart as well. If you want to go back to Friday night, Bonta said that any resolution would have to include, quote, robust structural remedies, unquote, that would change the shape of the media mega merger. Structural remedies, if you don't know, refer to divestitures, spinoffs, and other changes of the makeup of the combined company. What that means is you have to sell off certain brands to make you less competitive, make your competition a little bit stronger, those types of things. Well, speaking of that, according to the Wall Street Journal on Sunday night, California Attorney General Rob Bonta is going to ask Paramount to, quote, divest, some cable channels and commit to keeping Paramount Studios separate from Warner Brothers. That's going to be one of the conditions California is going to ask for to settle the lawsuit and allow the transaction to move forward. Now, we don't know what some cable channels means in any context, or any of the cable channels that would include the ones Paramount set to acquire from Warner Brothers Discovery, right, if they do end up merging. So, right, just on the sports side, forget about the news side, which, by the way, they're focusing on the news side. Certain entities don't want CNN to go into, a company that's looked more conservative, right, than Warner Brothers Discovery is more liberal leaning. They don't want to lose like CNN and those types of stuff. But if you want to just look at the sports side of things, Paramount, if you don't know, right now owns CBS Sports Network. Warner Brothers Discovery owns the TNT Sports Networks, which is vast. They include TNT, TBS, True TV out there. And, that's the question on the sports side is what all the articles are focusing on. But like I said, I'll tell you this, they're more concerned about the news side of things. One side of the political aisle probably is a little upset that they might be losing some of their most known left-leaning networks out there. I've been reading a lot about this over the weekend, and it is fascinating to kind of see where everything is playing at. And when we come back here at McCollum on Business here on this Monday morning, well, we got local stories coming your way. You like Waymo? Another type of car coming your way here. Officially, you've seen them riding around town, training, learning, etc. You can officially ride one now, and I think they're kind of cool looking, to be honest with you. We got other local stories coming up as well, so come on back. It's McCollum on Business. Here, McCollum on Business here on this Monday morning. Appreciate you joining us. Don't forget, live on YouTube, TME Media AZ. Just find us there on YouTube and catch us 7 a.m. Monday through Friday, as long as the markets are open out there. Of course, right after we're done here, we go live, the main event as well, 8 to 10 a.m. Me and 17-year NFL veteran Del Hellestree, when we get you updated on the happenings in the sports world over the weekend. High school football began. College football starts this week. NFL and one more preseason game coming up this week. And then about 10 days off before the season starts, let alone playoff chase run for Major League Baseball, including your Arizona Diamondbacks. All live here, 8 to 10 a.m. As soon as we're done live, well, we put the shows up on demand on that same YouTube channel, TME Media AZ. All of our programming is there, including the pit stop as well. And then only one not there, well, that would be The Real Matrix. New episodes on Friday at noon. We just, of course, second episode there of our Fauci episodes was put up on Friday at noon. Over on Rumble, though, is exclusive video partner there of The Real Matrix on Rumble, rumble.com/user/DME Media. Or I can tell you, if you go to Rumble now, you can just search the Real Matrix, Angry Patriot. It comes right up for you there as well. It's the newest, hottest show that we got here. And also, all of our programming, except for this one, are on the free podcast systems. Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, Podchaser, Podbean, all of them out there. Anywhere you catch a podcast, you can catch any of our shows, except for the McCollum on Business one, are there on your social or on your podcast networks that you listen to. Like and follow, if you would, wherever you catch us. We have other options coming for you soon. They're going to catch us, playing with them over the weekend as well. We've a lot to work out on them there still. Hopefully we'll get them going here, from an app on your phone to radio broadcast versions of the show over apps in your phone that can obviously play for you. Live is what we're trying to work on right now as well. So we got other options coming your way, folks. Stick with us out there. And, of course, don't forget, follow all of your shows except for this one and The Real Matrix on the social media platform X also. The main event, TME Sports Show, the Pit Stop is the Pit Stop Talk out there. Follow them and follow TME Media AZ as well. That's our parent company, kind of does the promotions and tells you what we do around here and what's coming up. Give us a follow there on X as well. Well, with all that being said, let's get right back into the Market Watch. As I said, everything is kind of down. Chip stocks are down today. Memory stocks, we're going to look at those in just a minute here. Dow Jones right now 139 points up, even though oil is trending down here today, but it's still at $95 a barrel, as we told you in that first part of the show. The Dow Jones, like I said, up 138 points. S&P 500's down 23 points right now. NASDAQ's down 226 points. And then the Russell 2K, it's down 13 points here today as well on the market. Treasury yields are declining today as well. So lots of good news out there in the market, except for the market itself, it seems like, out there. Bitcoin continued, well, it's fallen flat, but the rally has started again today. 77,000 was kind of where it plateaued at over the weekend. Well, today you can see it just crossed the 79,000 point, 79,015, as the rally looks like it's begun. That 3-day rally last week leading into this morning, another rally occurring here on Bitcoin as we look at that here today as well. And we told you about the Canadian hikes there on the tariffs, and Trump came out this morning and says U.S. will hike Canada auto tariffs to 50%. Yeah, came out this morning and said that as well. So the trade battle between the U.S. and Canada firing up here even bigger this morning as well. Canadian dollar has slidden this morning as the trade war continues on. So a lot of stuff heading, on the negative side on the Canadian goods out there. Other news, Secretary of Treasury Scott Bessent, he could tap about $1 trillion Treasury general account to fund bond buybacks to continue to try to get those Treasury yields down after they spiked here about, a week and a half ago as well out there. So the crypto gains are continuing today. Yeah, and stocks we're paying attention to this morning. Well, these ones weren't doing well in pre-market and early this morning. We're going to look at memory stocks out there. SanDisk is the first one that we're going to look at. Now, all these stocks were up last week. Well, they're 10% down right now. SanDisk is on the market. Western Digital's the next one we're going to look at here today as well, down 7.75% right now. And then Seagate Technology. I can also tell you down 8.14%. I can also tell you Micron Technology also down about 7-8% today as well. All the memory stocks, after they kind of rallied last week, are down today. Even the chip ones, we don't have stocks on these, but Marvell Technologies down about 3.5%. Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, It's down about 1.5%, 2% right now, and even Intel's down about 2%. So memory stocks, chip makers, all not doing well today as well out there that we're looking at. So interesting enough with that Canadian deal, I don't have the graphs for these either for you. But Nucor and Steel Dynamics, American steel manufacturers, well, they're all up today because of those trade negotiations between the U.S. and Canada collapsed over the weekend. Nucor's up 4%. Steel Dynamics is up about 3%. I went General Dynamics for some reason as well. Reason why? Canada is targeting the U.S. steel industry and its retaliatory tariffs that they say will start September 8th. Those steel stocks are up because, well, it means people won't be importing the steel, and we'll go with American companies, at least here in the United States, with that news out there. So big changing market right now as we start and get through here about an hour into the trading day, and we're having all of this giant news around the market as a whole hitting us here on this Monday morning. Let's get into some local stories here. And hey, do you like your personalized license plate? Well, in Arizona, you have a lot to choose from, and you're going to add some more to your table as well. The Arizona Department of Transportation Motor Vehicle Division, that's right, folks. Yeah, they're adding to their already extensive list of specialty license plates. You're getting 3 new designs here coming up. The partnerships, if you don't know, it goes to charities, and you can kind of do this stuff for these personalized plates. Well, these partnerships, there's 3 of them. National Italian American Foundation, the National Kidney Foundation of Arizona, the Solari Crisis and Human Services is kind of where you can get them. And Ethan's going through the plate designs here as we do this story as well. Also, the Channel 8 PBS plate, it was renamed. It was redesigned to simply say Arizona PBS on it as well. And then they also redesigned the University of Phoenix plate. Yeah, that's been redesigned as well. So 3 new ones, 2 redesigns. If you don't know, here in Arizona, specialty plates cost $25 a year. $17 of each annual fee goes to partner charitable causes. Over $15 million was donated to nonprofits and charities partnered with the specialty plate program last fiscal year. So, look, y'all are buying them. $50 million went to these charities for you guys getting those special plates. The 3 new plates, adding on to that, yeah. You have your choice of 107 specialty plates in Arizona. You get a specialty plate. You get a specialty plate. You get a specialty plate. That's a lot. That's a lot of specialty plates, man. Hey, but it goes to causes. $15 million put out to them as well out there. Now, if you're a Waymo fan, or even if you're not, you've seen kind of as we drive around the airport, we've seen these on the streets here for a little while out here, and they catch your eye because they're funky looking vehicles. And now you can officially ride in Metro Phoenix area with the Waymo's new Away vehicle. It's OJAI is how it's spelled there. Now, officially, you can ride in them, and it comes for all passengers in Phoenix, as well as Los Angeles and San Francisco. It's going to enable Waymo to scale its fully autonomous rollout to dozens of new cities as well with these newer vehicles. The Away offers a new passenger experience, including larger cabins, more legroom inside of them as well. They say flat floors. I don't know what they mean by that because I don't remember the Jaguar floors being, not flat, but I also probably didn't pay attention. But you get larger LED screens in these cars, and they've got those funky elevator type doors, and they are funky looking cars. They are the Chinese make interesting looking cars out there, and they are kind of funky looking. I do like the abnormal style of them. The vehicles are equipped with Google Gemini AI, which means passengers can control the AC and the music inside of it. You can reroute the vehicle while you're going someplace, or even explore the neighborhood with voice commands as you want to. These Waymo Away is built around vehicles from the Chinese manufacturer Zeekr. Now, this is the CM1E model. It's purpose-built for autonomous uses, and it's fully electric as well. Now, Away is equipped with Waymo's 6th-generation driver that streamlines production, increases the output of Waymo's factory, and Mesa to tens of thousands of units per year. Now, riders excuse me, riders can be matched with an OA if one is nearby. Only time you can get them now. You can't demand them or anything like that. But in the future, they're going to open it up. Waymo is, and you'll be able to select your vehicle preference. So now the only time you can ride it is if there's just one close to you. It's going to still send you the closest vehicle that you can that is to you there. So no guarantees you're going to ride in one if you order a Waymo and everything. At least as of now, out there. They didn't. I did a little search there to see how many of these they're putting out there. Unless we've been seeing the same one, we've seen probably 7 or 8 of them over the last several weeks out here, just driving around, doing their work and stuff like that. So I don't know how many they have compared to those Jaguars, but interesting development there to kind of expand out in the autonomous vehicle side of the world. And now I'm convinced this place is just a money laundering scheme or something to that effect. It's never going to open. And we were just out at Cardinal Stadium on Saturday night for the Cardinals preseason game, and looks like it hasn't been touched in a while still. That's right. And now we find out the developer behind that Mattel Adventure Park over there in Glendale, appears to have removed himself from the project out there in the West Valley, but he is still working with similar developments in the Kansas City metro area, which is also several years behind, by the way. Yeah, the senior vice president of marketing for the Vive Resort, he confirmed in an email to several entities I saw. Vive Resort is now the developer, owner, and operator of the under construction Mattel Adventure Park. Yeah. No, it's Epic Resort Destinations was the developer before. They led the project, and Glenn Bilbo was the guy's name. He was the CEO of the Epic Resort Destinations. Now, they did not confirm when he walked away from the project. They just said he has. Now, the Bilbo and his company has been associated with a number of entertainment projects over a decades-long career, departing several of those developments before they were ever completed. Yeah. So Frontier Theme Park down there in Branson, he started and did not finish in Branson, Missouri. Belle Island Village Development over in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, started and did not finish. Blue Collar Country Development over in Foley, Alabama. Yeah, that was the one with Jeff Foxworthy and Larry the Cable Guy that they were talking about that. That one actually never began, but he was in charge of that and walked away from that as well. So, as you know, the Vive Resort, the resort that's never going to open, it's weathered, if you don't know, it's supposed to open in 2023. Yeah. And it still has a year and a half to 2 years before it's completed and can open. Yeah. Vive Resort has been in extended development hell. They were initially spearheaded by Bilbo as far back as 2019. That was when it was called Crystal Lagoons Island Resort then. Now, like I said, 2023 was when it was supposed to open. Yeah. They say legal hurdles, ever-expanding project scope under Vive Resort's new ownership group. They're saying is what's delaying it out there. Yeah. So if it ever opens, it's going to bring 1,100 hotel rooms, multiple towers there, as you can see as you drive by there, 11 restaurants, an 11,000-seat amphitheater, large pool area, conference center, and, of course, that Mattel Adventure Park with roller coasters and other attractions. Folks, don't get your hopes up. We're still a year and a half, 2 years away, if we're lucky for it to happen out there. And it's just an eyesore at this point, driving out there. It's disgusting to see, and just get it open, would you? That's all we're asking. Hey, Amazon, Walmart, yeah, they're racing to expand delivery across Phoenix areas. As we know, they're all fighting over it. Yeah, and now they're starting to battle over the drone delivery possibilities for you. Yes. And it's all happening here in the Valley. As you know, Amazon offered drones delivery to service within a 7-mile radius of their Tolleson warehouse. They've been doing that for about 2 years now. Well, it's going to serve 16 zip codes across the Phoenix metro now as well. They announced this on August 19th. So a lot of zip codes, you can Google those if you want to look up all 16 zip codes for you there. All West Valley, by the way, I do believe. I don't think I saw one East Valley one there. So this comes because Walmart announced similar plans to expand its drone delivery operations here in the Phoenix area. So the competition's getting big. You may see drones flying. And I saw a video last week, actually, where I think it was an Amazon drone, not here in Phoenix, someplace else, delivered a package and dropped it in somebody's pool. It just dropped it right there in the pool. And customer wasn't too happy about it, but they did catch it on Ring Video and those things as well out there. So, hey, we survived this Monday morning edition of McCollum on Business. Well, appreciate you joining us out there, and we'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Get your Tuesdays at business. See what happens today on Monday. Lots of trade war stuff, a lot of tariffs, obviously. Oil prices, treasury yields. It's going to affect the markets all week long. Let's take a look at it tomorrow morning at 7, folks. Come and join us. Let's roll into the main event coming up live here on YouTube, 8 to 10 a.m. Everything on demand afterwards. So if you can't catch it live, catch it on demand on YouTube. We'll see you there, everybody. Have a great Monday night.